If you know, I believe that quarter Q4 2025 is going to be the most bullish quarter in crypto history. This is attributed to many different factors. The main factor being the fact that we now have institutions playing in our playground, something that we've never had before. Retail, we play with maybe a few $100 here and there, a few thousand here and there. But when these institutions break in, that's millions of dollars. And remember that we just had a rate cut for the first time this year. And these usually take 30 days to 60 days to kick in. At the same time, we had news of Solana yesterday, mid-October being the deadline for all the spot ETF of Solana. And XRP just came out today. Something I didn't know about Solana. Apparently the amendments that were filed by the ETF issuers last night imply that there has already been a approval behind closed doors of Solana, which means that we can actually get the official news in the next 2 weeks. Understanding macroeconomics, M2 is increasing, and we are now at a point where Bitcoin, which leads the whole market, it's an index for the whole market, is expected to hit $250,000 within 3 months. Do you think that institutions are going to wait for us? Of course not. They are going to buy what I like to say are IOUs. They're not going to buy over the counter because that'll spike the price and make retail go crazy into buying spree. They're going to buy IOUs behind closed doors. Now, financial advice, do your own research. And these IOUs can be redeemable for actual crypto when the time is right. However, these IOUs will make it so that there's no price action. There's just accumulation by these institutions. When they can claim the price at the price that they bought it at, and when things start to pop off, parabolic runs, crypto starts to go crazy. You have the final announcement that the ETFs are going to go live for Solana and XRP. We're off to the races. Remember that the majority of Solana's, cryptocurrencies live on two chains, Ethereum and Solana. Ethereum has had its run. It's going to go even higher, but I believe that Solana's run hasn't even started yet. Solana's a fifth of the value. And XRP futures are the best performing futures in CME history. What does that mean? It means that if any analysis would point to the fact that XRP ETFs are probably going to be better performing than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So again, watch for mid-October to be explosive. This is going to sound a little bit racy. Hopefully this doesn't get taken off. However, I live in New York City area, in the New Jersey, New York City area. I have a lot of friends that are Jewish. What happens in early September to mid-October is that there are a lot of Jewish holidays. They just had their Mazel Tov, just had their Jewish holiday, New Year, and rather, this past Wednesday, and they have a couple more holidays the first 2 weeks of October. Wall Street, again, this is not racial. Wall Street, the majority of people on Wall Street are of that religion, ethnic group, whatever you want to call it, and they celebrate those holidays. That means they can't touch electronics. So what are they going to do when they come back in mid-October and the holiday season is finally over? It's kind of like, you could compare it to like a week after New Year's for us. They're going to go ham, especially the private equity firms on Madison Avenue. Wall Street is public equity. New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, Madison Avenue, the street over where Yale Club is, Harvard Yale Club is, MetLife Building, that's all private equity and hedge funds. They're going to see that the approvals have been, and the groundwork has been laid for what? Solana ETFs and the XRP ETFs. And they're going to also understand unit bias. And I'm sure that a lot of like the VanEck and the 21 Capitals and all that, they're going to explain to their customers, listen, market cap isn't more important than unit bias, where basically you look at a price and you think, oh, the price is lower, so it must mean that I can make a lot more money. However, retail will be retail. Remember that a lot of these ETFs are basically retail just buying through their institutions. The institutions hold the underlying asset, they make a fee, but XRP, Solana, going nuts all over the place, parabolic, because when you look on Twitter, Twitter manages everything, YouTube, what is everybody talking about? XRP, Solana. Why Solana? Because the meme coins, XRP because of its utility. Most people understand what it's trying to do with the ISO 222. And yeah, you have Lita Finance or whatever the cryptocurrency is now that's trying to like work with Swift. But at the end of the day, ISO 222 coins are going to replace the Swift system, in my opinion. And XRP is the only project right now, currently, that is fully ISO 222 compliant. Other projects will claim they are, but in reality, it's only XRP and maybe HBAR. But the other ones are working towards it, like Cardano, Algo. They're working towards ISO 222 compliance. Remember, that doesn't kick in until mid-November. I am Switzerland. Yeehaw, yeah, cowboy hat. Also, actually, I'm all over New Jersey, and I tell people that Cody James is actually the maker of my hat. So, yep. Hi, Bruna. Hi, Bradford. I'm glad that you guys can all make it. I'm just explaining to the troops that I believe that mid-October is when the parabolic runs of the crypto market are going to happen. And I explain their reasoning, which is basically just ETFs. The tailwinds are working perfectly. Rate cuts, ETFs for Solana and XRP coming in mid-October. XRP were the best performing futures contracts in the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Usually the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is what you see there is a testing ground for one spot ETFs actually do appear. I like my cowboy hat too, that's why I bought it. But with that being said, I want everybody to be patient. Not financial advice, do your own research. I personally bought more crypto yesterday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I talked about it in the video last night. And with that being said, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm going to go watch some college football and some pizza. Upwards and onwards.